Hello and blessings, beautiful souls. Sarava and Ashe to you, and happy holidays. Today I'm going to be doing an altar tour. It is time for me to change up my altar, and I posted up on Instagram whether or not you would like to see a final altar tour before I change it all up, and lots and lots of people said absolutely. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing today. But before we get started on that video, I must mention today's video sponsor, and that is Keen. Okay, so if you've never heard of Keen before, I wanted to let you quickly know a little bit about their service, because I was able to experience their service firsthand and I had such a good time with it. I've got to say, I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But Keen is an online service that will allow you to access vetted psychics, life coaches, spiritual advisors, astrologers, tarot readers, clairvoyants, pet psychics. They just have so many different functions. They have so many different services, if you will, or talented individuals offering these particular services, and it's huge. Their platform is massive and it's super easy to navigate. The sign up process is really non-convoluted, and I went through the entire process myself. I signed up, I was matched when I signed up, so I put in all of my details, which I kept private, but then they configure it, they match you up to specific individuals who would be most suited, and I had a really fun time browsing through. I had my sisters here and we were going through the ones that I might like to work with, and I took a couple of days to choose who I would work with, because I wanted to see the variety of psychics that they had online. Being that I'm in a totally different time zone to that of the US and Canada, I just wanted to see how it went. I personally chose the chat function. You can choose a call, so you can speak to someone via call, and or you can do what I've done and gone via chat. I wanted to do chat because I live in a tiny home. The kids are oftentimes around. It can be very noisy. I seldom have the time to be on the phone. And I just wanted the option to do it really quickly while I was having my coffee. I didn't really know what to expect. I tried not to have any preconceived notions. And so I went in there and I carefully chose, over the course of a couple of days, 3 individual psychics. I went for life purpose questions, well, more life and finance, more to the point kind of questions, and each one gave me something a little different. So the first one was really fairy themed. She really connected with the wee folk and told me that next spring I was going to have a really positive peak of an experience, especially in my career, and I found that to be really interesting. And that was the bulk of the experience that I had with that particular psychic. We had a little bit of backwards and forwards, saying to stay positive, stay on the right track, but spring of next year was when it was all going to happen, and there were a few more details given, and I was pretty excited. I was really excited to hear that. And then I went to the next one, which was more a spiritual kind of advisor type service with the same theme in mind. And this one was, again, really interesting. So I was given focused manifestation techniques in which I could use. I was given clarity, kinds of information, things to be very clear on when I am performing my meditations and my focused manifestations. I was given tips and tricks on how to inject the right kind of framework in my meditation and in my manifestation work, what specific things I should be truly focusing on and incorporating into my meditations. And I found that to be really valuable, because while I meditate for spiritual peace most of all. And when I'm doing focused manifestation work, I can sometimes get in my own way. So to have an external sort of perspective, an external advisor to sort of help to shift the line of sight a little bit and point it to somewhere that was more direct for me, I found that to be really just so helpful. I just found that to be so helpful. So much of what we do in our own personal practice can be self-led. And while I like to be very spirit-led, I'm also the type of person that can get into ruts quite a bit and just go for the tried and true. And so I found her to be really refreshing. And I was kind of taken aback. I must say I was taken aback because what she said was so clever. It was so concise. And it all took very little time. I believe on the first chat with the fairy professional, I was on there for maybe 4 minutes. The spiritual advisor who was giving me focused manifestation work was around 6 minutes, and then I spoke to another intuitive, someone who specifically called themselves an intuitive, and I had a really interesting connection with the third time's the charm, they say, right? So I had a really interesting connection with the third psychic that I worked with, and again, this one here asked for my name and my birth date, so I gave them my name and my birthday, and then they were able to provide me with just so much advice and so much clarity. It was very quick, it was very concise. No time was wasted. I was a bit concerned that because I was going for chat, that it would take a really long time for them to type out their thing, and you know, there's always that in the back of my mind, but it happened super duper quickly, and you get the little dots to say they are in fact typing, so you're not holding your breath, you know that there's something happening, and it happened. I got quite a bit of information backwards and forth from each of the psychics that I worked with, in a really timely fashion. They do not leave you hanging, they do not leave you waiting, and then after that you can disconnect the chat or they can disconnect the chat, and in 2 instances I disconnected, and in the last instance she disconnected, and that was because everything was said, and they don't just abruptly disconnect either. They're like, well, thank you so much and have a lovely day. Like, there's a closing phrase given. Each individual one will, you know, just make sure that you have what you need and that you don't have any further questions. And so the last one, I've got to talk a little bit about the last one, because the last one sort of like saw into my soul or something, I don't know. She saw into my soul, and I've got to say, I specifically went for clairvoyants and psychics because I wanted to have that experience. I'm a tarot reader, so I don't go to other tarot readers because I can read my own cards, but I wanted to have the psychic experience, whatever that is, and I really do think I got it, especially with this last one. This last one was, she saw into my soul, folks. She did see into my soul, because she typed out the fear that was inside of me, the fear that I hold on to, the issues that I've had, the complaints that I've had. She was able to pull all of that out in the first 2 messages, and I felt really heard. I felt really comforted by that, like that she saw what was going on, that she saw what was inside of me, my worry, my concern, my fear, my trepidation, my anxiety. She picked it all up and navigated around it beautifully, told me that next year, early next year, I would start to see things solidly develop. I needed to push a little bit harder, but I was definitely on the right track, and that there was one specific thing that she said, and it was references or referrals, more to the point, that I would start to see an increase in referrals through my business and through my services, because I was doing such a unique style of work, and she didn't know what I did for work. I was offering such a unique style of work that I would start to see a lot more people approaching me in a business capacity because of that unique style of work, because of referrals. And I found that to be really interesting, because it's the end of the year and I tend to do a lot of, you know, New Year readings, and I've been offering these New Year readings for the last couple of years, and I have noticed there are new clients this year that have been referred from previous clients of last year, and you know, I start to see that already, but I was going to see more of that, and that was what was said. So the whole entire process was really easy to navigate. I was a little bit confused to start off with, but that was that. I had some preconceived notions and I kind of got out of my own way, and then I realized how just absolutely seamless the experience was. Everything is there. The app is really handy. You can access Keen via desktop, or you can access it via app, and you can use the call feature to connect with your chosen psychic. You can use the chat feature to connect with your chosen psychic. You get to browse an incredible, robust library of services. Each psychic has their joined date. Each psychic has their rating, so how many readings they've done, what people are rating them as, and then like an astounding number of reviews. There are psychics there with like 30,000 5-star reviews, and I was like, whoa. And it's a really affordable way of accessing quick guidance, and that is what I personally found. I found that the way that I would personally use this service is if I was in the moment and I had a question, a burning question that I was not prepared to sit down and read for myself, then 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes I would have connection with my chosen psychic and I would have an answer, and it would be seamless, quick and easy. So for quick answers on the go, in the moment, when you just can't wait, when you just need to know, we've all been in those types of situations. I think this would be a really, really great service, and I found it to be incredibly affordable as well. The range of price is astounding. You can access a psychic for around $2. You can access a psychic for around $20, and you can have a look at the range of psychics in between, and you get to put aside how much you want to spend. You don't have to stay on the line and use oodles and oodles of money. You can actually set yourself a little budget, and that way you don't go over. So it's responsibly used in that way, or it offers the opportunity to be responsibly used, because I can see this being quite addictive. Oh my god, I have a question, I'm gonna go and speak to my psychic. I would say though that developing a relationship with one particular person is the way to go. I believe this in my own work, and I believe this on this platform. So find someone that you really like and consistently go back to that person. They will recognize you. You can develop a rapport with them, and you can tap in with advice that was given in the past, and they can give you, you know, really great insights and tips on clearing pathways, balancing chakra systems, and, you know, all the other kind of spiritual advice that you typically expect to get. I would like that. I like that kind of stuff. And yeah, I just had a really positive experience. So I've got focus manifestation techniques that I can use, which I think is really, really handy, especially for my own personal reflections and focuses. I also have spring of next year to look forward to, and I also have the peace and serenity of knowing that next year it will start to get a little bit lighter, a little bit easier, and a little bit better for me. And I walked away from all 3 of my sessions feeling, you know, pretty calm, pretty peaceful, pretty kind of, I don't know, nurtured, I think is the word that I'm looking for. I walked away feeling quite good, quite peaceful in that way, and that's not something that I was expecting. If I'm being entirely truthful, I went into this sort of tongue-in-cheek, in jest, like, I'm gonna go shopping for a psychic, and my sisters are here visiting for the holidays, and so we had a little bit of fun combing through the psychics, going, oh, look at this one, look at this service, because you get to see what each psychic specializes in. And I was just looking at ways in which they described their services, and I found it to be really intriguing. They have such an incredible amount of talent on that service. They have such an incredible amount of talent and so many unique experiences to be had, let me tell you. That's why I really went for fairy. I wanted to have the fairy experience, and I got the fairy experience, and I loved it. I must say, I loved it. So thank you to Keen for sponsoring this video, and it was just a delight to work with them, and thanks for sticking with me and listening to my story about Keen. Now let's get into my altar tour. So here we are at the scene of my altar, and she's looking pretty messy, folks. She's looking pretty damn messy. Let me just say ahead of time that this is a workspace. This is a witch's workspace, and you are going to find that it gets used pretty damn hard. So I'm going to take you through my altar setup and talk a little bit about what I really loved about this altar setup, what I did not like about this altar setup. One of the things that I didn't like is the fact that I have such a small surface to work off, because I am a person that desperately needs spazio. I need space. But having said that, I'm grateful for what I do have, and I do have a pretty decent size altar. Many people have smaller ones, so I appreciate that, and therefore I shall not complain. But let's get stuck into it, shall we? So we are going to start off with the list of decks that I've been working with. This is the Herb Crafter, this is the Light Visions, this is Soul Cards 2, this is the Unsata Tarot German edition. Over here we have the Vintage Wisdom Oracle. This is the Nameless deck. This is the Spirit Guide deck prototype that was sent to me by Deborah Knopf Chapman. And over here we have the Maiden Oracle. Up the top there too, we have the Everyday Witch Tarot. So they are the decks that I'm working with. As you can see, I have a pretty large quantity of magical oils at the moment. I've been using a lot of magical oils and powders there as well. And so this selection of magical oil, that's from the Witch's Moon. That is from, I do believe that one there is from, oh, I forgot her name, Conjured Cardia, Witch's Moon. This is from House of Hoodoo. And this is Juniper Moon Apothecary. So I have been working with quite a selection of oils. My nephew has been exploring my altar of late. Over here I have a now dried up because I haven't put any water in it over the last couple of days, and this is my offering bowl of water. That too is an offering bowl of water, but that is specifically for my beautiful goddess Emanja. So she gets the shell, and this little chalice here, which actually came from the Witch's Moon, is used to bring in the element of water to the space. I also keep the rose water that I wash my hands with over onto this side, and just some devotional treasures there around her feet. I like to keep the Rainbow Moonstone off to the side there. The amethyst, which is one of my favorite pieces, sits off here. And I do have selenite and kyanite there as well, and then lots and lots of rose petals, lots of selenite at the foot of my beautiful Emanja, or Doya Emanja. And then let's just go to the back there. I have the Oak King. I have some raw turquoise over there and some rose quartz in 2 different chunks. I have a pyrographied, that's not even a word, but I have a beautiful burnt stone piece, or wood piece I should say. I have some abrasanta there, that is a smoking bundle. I have my raven skull, the evil eye totem, and a rose quartz candle holder, and Fortuna is there as well. I also have sigils, oops, up on the window here. I keep my sigils there, and that's kind of what I'm looking at back here, so you can see. And these beautiful pieces of artwork are from the Witch's Moon, the Witch's Bounty, and the Witch's Roots. I really love them. So on the wall I do kind of follow the theme on either side. You can sort of see that I like to surround myself with art and focused manifestation sort of stuff. So there we have it. Moving back on what I do have on my altar at the moment, I have here this dish. Look, this is a stub of candle. This is a candle stub, some might say, from all the witchcrafting I've been doing. Here I have sage and rosemary in a smudge, or in a smoke bundle I should say. And I also have pieces of Paulus Santo. This piece of Paulus Santo and some of the others that are here were bought back from the Amazon by Gordon. I love to work with Paulus Santo. It's from my neck of the woods. Some of you who have had spirit work sessions with me will know that this is my spirit work pendulum. Is it in focus or not? It's not focusing. Let me fix this. Sorry about that, folks. I had to take my neutral density filter off. I forgot to do that because I was filming outside for a little bit. So back here we have a gorgeous, here we go. This is a herb bundle. And I'm into it. It's very ashy, as you can see. Like, look at how absolutely ashy that is. I want you to see how dirty my altar is, because when I tell people that it gets really messy and it gets really used, I'm going to show you, like, right up close. Like, look, it's filthy. Those who have had spirit work sessions with me will recognize this bad boy. Oh, I'm too close, it won't focus. Having trouble focus today. This is my bell. Many of you will recognize the bell. Over here I have magical workings that need to be disposed of. That will happen before the new year comes into question. All of these herbs were placed here fresh and have dried on my altar, which is the way that I like it. And to the center here I have all of my working stones. So you will notice that these are ones that I mention a lot. This is my spirit work set. Here I have another favorite piece of amethyst, which I think is absolutely beautiful. I have a grid of botanicals and crystals set up in the center, and this is a rabbit pelt from Norway that was sent to me by my beautiful friend Jessie, and I love it dearly. These here are some of the tokens that I had wrapped around my pillar candle holder, and I've had such a hard time with candles this last half of the year. Oh, underneath there you will see that there is a beautiful little wand there. A little success wand there to go with my crown of success working. This came from the Conjure Goddess. It's a beautiful fixed candle. Had a great time with those. This one here came from a coven sister after she heard all of the terrible issues that I've been having with candles, and so I've just recently employed that. As you can see, totally different experience. It's not tunneling, it's actually burning even, and I'm very happy. And the candle holder here is actually from Dusk. I liked the color of it. I like my center spirit candle to be elevated, so you can see here that it is elevated, and I like it to be in alignment with the cluster that I make, with the grid, if you will. Over here I have another Conjure Goddess fixed candle. These cost me a fortune. I imported them from America. They did cost me a fair bit of money, but it was a present. I got them a very long time ago and then put them to use. So there you have it. Over here I have my beautiful Elsa statue. Look at her, she's gorgeous. Elsa. And if you've ever wanted to know where I get my beautiful statuary from, then ask no further, because or look no further, because Anna Turian made these for me, both that one and this one. And so as you can see, I lay a lot of herbal offerings. Look at how many. Again, these are all picked from either my garden or somebody else's garden. This one here was definitely somebody else's garden. I saw this one and it was just a unique color. Look at it. And so I have got 3 there for my beautiful Elsa. And look at how messy it looks. It just looks so messy. Here is where I keep most of my sprays, and Serenity can go back there. And I have a lot of sprays, and let me just get up some of my magical waters. I have a Robert Tim's coffee bag there just to have coffee on hand so I can scatter it when I need it. I have a spell candle going on the side here. I have some magical teas over here, pen, that kind of business, a charm. These beautiful Japanese teas were sent to me by my beautiful friend Shannon, who is also on YouTube. And we've got some really interesting stuff, but I want you to really look at how dirty it is. Look at how fabulously dirty it is. It's ridiculously dirty. Petitions under there, petitions over there, petitions that need to be burnt. This here is my working candle for those who ever want to know. I did a tutorial on this one for my coven. I've had such a bad time with this candle. Look at it. Look at it. It tunnels and cracks. It's cracked. You can't really see where it's cracked, but I assure you it is cracked. There, you can see a giant crack there. It's just, it's so bad. But I did like the arrangement. I also did a tutorial on a magical rosemary wreath over on the coven, and I've placed that around here with offerings, and I've placed it on this beautiful pillar candle dish, which I got from Dusk and matches my pillar candle holder, so it's all matchy. I have a lot of crystals. I have my fetish here, and I have my fetish here as well. And always you will find a piece of tourmaline on my altar. I've got 2 here this time around. My little candle snuffer, which is right here. This one is so pretty. I have another one, but when I saw this one, I'm like, you're so pretty. It came in a witch's moon, and I was just super excited for it. So I'm just going to put you back there. Some of you may recognize my beautiful little owl shaker, and those who have had readings with me will definitely recognize this beautiful little owl shaker. And so, listen, sounds like a rainforest. This little flower here came from a traditional Indian puja ceremony. When I got it, it was fresh. At the day of the ritual, it was beautifully fresh, and I've kept it and preserved it to retain some of the energy of that beautiful puja ceremony. I absolutely loved it. I had a really, profound experience, some might say. And yeah, I just really loved it. I love collecting flowers. I have a lot of, what is this, calendula? I have a lot of calendula here. Just drying. Calendula, blue cornflower, daisies, jasmine, lavender, more lavender, lots of rose this time around. These were tulips from my own garden over here. So beautiful tulips, more lavender. And there's some tonka beans. You can have a look here. Some beautiful tonka beans. Just so many botanicals here. The crystals that I've used in the center here are primarily aventurine jade, clear quartz. I've got a piece of cavensite there. I really do love desert rose. I have peacock ore over here in case you wanted to know what was there. There's Isis. For those who have been watching my channel for a long time, you'll always know that Isis is somewhere placed on my reading altar, and there she is without fail. Good old Isis. Let's have a look at some of the waters and sprays that I've been working with. So here we have Nonna's Garden Potion. Hang on, I'll turn the camera around. Okay, so having a look at the sprays, this is Nonna's Garden Potion, and it came from Earthly Alchemy. I love to use this one as a clearing type of spray, but whenever you remove energetic debris from your space in a very metaphysical sense, you leave little patches, and you want to make sure that you close that. So a clearing and healing spray will definitely do that, and I have found that to be a very, very good one. I'm almost completely out of Sacred Temple, and I'm very sad for that. That's Sacred Temple, also by Earthly Alchemy. And their other one that I really loved is the Chakra Balancer. And I have a little bit more of the Chakra Balancer, but not much. I'm talking drops here, folks. Drops. Focus! Focus! It doesn't want to focus. And then I've got Serenity, and Serenity is my newest favorite. I'm going to put some on today, but I have to take off my glasses for this experience. It is an aura spray. Oh, I love it so much, so much. And then most recently, I got the beautiful Orange Blossom spray from from Earthly Alchemy. And so I've been really loving this one as well. I haven't used anywhere near as much of it. It is the most recent of the sprays, and I love Elder Crow's sprays. I just love them. I love sprays. Aura sprays, spirit sprays. This is Aceite de Machos that came from New Orleans in a little haul that my beautiful friend Shannon bought back for me, and it is a very interesting water, this one. I might talk about it another time. And then I have the Vision Spray, the Intuitive Vision Spray, the Seer spray from the Witch's Moon from ages ago. It's just lasted me forever. Honestly, the atomizer on this is absolutely amazing. It puts out the most finest spray, finest, like ultra fine spray, and because of that it has lasted me for a very long time, and I can feel and hear the Lumerian seed crystal that's inside it. And that's one of the lovely things that the Witch's Moon does, is they put the Lumerian seed in most of their oils. I'll see if I can find some other examples. This is one. This is one. That's not it. Oh, you can't really see through that one. But there's a lot. This is one. Oh, just such beautiful oils. I love to work with oils and sprays and botanicals. I just love it. I love it so much. Been having a really good time with this altar setup. One thing that I think I will do next time is I will be a little light-handed on my botanicals. This time around I just layered and layered and layered and layered and layered until it looked like a forest floor almost. And while I liked it, I also felt like it brought with it a lot of debris. I also placed my Crown of Success candle on a plate with more mojo around it, and it attracted ants, so I won't be doing that again. So I didn't even know I had ants in here, but apparently I do. I don't have them down there, but I'd certainly have them up here. Another thing that I won't be doing is just utilizing really crap candles. I'm always pretty particular about the candles that I used, and I thought that I made a good move with the candles that I used. However, I do not believe that that was true. I love working with beeswax. If you're vegan, you may not agree with that, but I do love working with beeswax, and I like working with soy. I like working with non-toxic types of candles. When it comes to taper candles, I use all of the rolled beeswax ones that come with the Witch's Roots, Bounty and Moon, and I also use the non-toxic Nimbin candles as well, which are like taper kind of dinner candles, and they become my spell candles. And then for me, the challenge lies in getting pillar candles. So I try not to be too like wah about it, but this time around I just had the worst time of it. Oh. But now I'm working with this beautiful one by a Coven sister, and I love it. And I was also sent out another really wonderful package from a Coven brother who runs Elder Tree Apothecary, and I'm going to show you that one. I'm going to kind of do a little bit of a haul of candles to show you both of them. I was in such desperate need for a spirit candle that I quickly created that one. I mean, I didn't quickly do anything, but I made it because the one that was up there kept on going out, and I'm like, I can't have my spirit candle perpetually extinguishing itself. That is not a good sign. So I've removed it, and I'm pissed off about it because that one cost me a lot of money. This one here already has proved to be infinitely better than the one that I paid a fortune for. So let's just get over that one really quickly. And so this rotation of decks has been absolutely wonderful. I have had the best time with the Maiden Oracle. This is the Maiden Oracle by Layla and Olive. Like, look at this beautiful deck. Like, it is so good. It's so good. And it sits under some lepidolite here. Oldie but a goldie. This is another oracle that I've been using. This is the Vintage Wisdom by Victoria Mosley. This one's been around by ages. It's mass published by US Games, whereas the Maiden Oracle is not. It's an indie deck. So easy to get your hands on. Really nice deck. And Victoria Mosley, the creator, she includes a really fun story about how that deck came to be, and there's a lot of goddess influence in there. Then I'm working with a Mages Only deck. I hate the backing of this deck so badly. I hate it. Oh, I was almost ringing. But this is the Ansata Tarot. This is the German edition, and I acquired this one, I think it was last year, on a buy, swap and sell, on a Facebook buy, swap and sell. Then over here, I'm rocking Soul Cards 2 for all you Soul Cards lovers. I mean, I love Soul Cards 2. Look at that one. Bare bones of things. Look at that one. The Weaver. Oh, I just love it. I love Soul Cards. They're so intuitive. My absolute favorite standout deck for the year of 2019 is without a doubt the Light Seers Tarot by Chris Ann Donnelly of the Sacred Creator brand. I absolutely love this deck. It is just everything I never knew I always wanted, literally. That feels like a really valid descriptive. I just love the color palette. I love the flow in the deck. I love the quality. This is the indie version, but this has been mass marketed, so congratulations to Chris Ann. I adore this deck. I love it. I have been using it flat out, and look at the edges. Look at those beautiful edges. Like vibrant green. Give me a break. So I loved it. I've loved working with that deck. I've also got here the Herb Crafters Tarot, which I bought on a whim and ended up really liking. The court system in this one is really different. All the names are very different. Sort of like Hispanic, Curangismo kind of inspired, and just a really interesting deck. And if you really love botanicals and you're really interested in the green path and herb craft and herb magic and all of that kind of good fun stuff, you'll love this deck. The backing of it's really cute, but I don't like the fact that even the backing has a border. Like, no. I'm a no borders type of person. I don't mind it too much on that one, actually. So, and then the last one that I've got here to show you is the Everyday Witch Tarot, which I only bought because my bestie Alora told me how good the bloody deck was, didn't she? So there we have it. Just to give you a little something. This is a high gloss mass marketed deck. It's published by Llewellyn. This is the backing. And it's very vibrant, as you can see. Like, it's a vibrant color palette. The art style is not technically to my liking. However, I dig it. It's a really good deck. It is as good as people say that it is. And I'll have a quick flick through of, just a quick one of the super secret prototype deck. There we go. This is by Deborah Knopf Chapman. It's a spirit guide face deck, and it's very unique. It's not finished. It's not even close to being finished. There will not be this volume of faces as far as I know. This is on just printed card, not even cardstock. So it was just sent to me to have my experience with it and to convey my experience with it. So that's what I've been doing, and this is the deck that I've also been utilizing as a spirit guide card for the New Year readings that I've been doing, so people can actually have an interactive experience. That's how I found it to be really positive. What else have I got to show you? Just the setup this time around was absolutely frantic. It was all like herbs and what have you not. I also created this beautiful shaker jar, and just to look back now on the Keen call that I did, especially the one with the focus manifestation, the kind of advice that the spiritual advisor gave me with the focus manifestation and the skills and the techniques and the little tips and tricks that she wove into that session, I want to make another one, and I want to use the techniques that she conveyed to me in making another one. And I think I'm just getting this really good feeling, but I don't want to do any magic until I've absolutely reset my altar. So I should also say that I do have a link for you. I have a link for you for Keen if you do want to try it out. And there is a special offer. Hang on, I've got to look up that special offer. Okay, I'm just looking up the special offer, and it says here that if you try the little link that I'm putting here on the screen somewhere, and it'll also be in the description box, it's a Try Keen link. You will see it, that you will get your first 10 minutes for $1.99. So I'm super excited. I'm super duper excited for it. And I want to see if I can put some of that information to really good use, honestly, because I don't like wasting my time on anything that I don't believe is going to work, and I'm just not that person. I'm too practical to be that person, and I'm too busy for that as well. So I really want to use some of the focus manifestation techniques on creating more jars for myself, more magical jars. This one here is a sugar jar. And I'm shaking it up now because that's what you do. So I made a sugar jar. Downstairs I've got a honey jar, but I want to create one now with this oomph. I also really do need to get rid of these spell candles as they've played themselves through. I will be doing a video on how to dispose of magical workings like this, and hopefully soon. I just don't know. I don't know. Time. Everything's time. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for this altar tour, beautiful souls. I am so excited to have been able to work with Keen, one of my first official sponsors for this channel. So yay for me, and thank you so much, Keen. I've really enjoyed working with you. And I'm just excited for the new year. I'm excited for an altar reset. I'm excited to have been able to properly take you through my altar space and to really show you. I haven't done a video like this in a really long time, and the last time I've tried to do videos like this, I haven't been entirely detailed. It's been pretty much when I've been setting up a new one, so I haven't had any workings done. I haven't had the fallout of a full season of Witchcraft, you know, on here. And now you get to see the other side of it, because when you work on an altar, it gets messy, okay? All right, beautiful souls. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to try Keen, and I will have the link in the description box below. And I hope you've had a really wonderful holiday season, and I will chat to you again soon. Mwah! Bye!